Peep and Sleep, written and told by Kiefer Adams. Adapted from a magazine story. One evening, Emily was just settling down at Knapford Sheds. Her crew had only just died down her fire when the shed doors opened. A little yellow tank engine backed into the shed next to Emily. We know, of course, that this was none other than Stepney the Bluebell Engine. "Hello there," Stepney greeted. You must be Emily. The Fat Controller said I could stay here tonight." "I am," replied Emily, "and welcome back. Thomas has told me so much about you. What are you doing on Sodor?" "Enthusiasts," replied Stepney. "I'm taking them all across the island." Emily and Stepney were soon chatting like old friends, but soon the night drew on, and Stepney went to sleep. But just before Emily could close her eyes, a loud, shrill whistle echoed across the shed. Emily looked, and there was Stepney sleep whistling. "Oh no," she groaned. Stepney sleep whistled all night long, and poor Emily was kept awake throughout it all. The next morning, a tired and weary Emily came to collect her trucks from the docks. Salty and Thomas were already there. "Goodness me, Emily," cried Thomas. "You look like you haven't slept well." "It's Stepney," exclaimed Emily. "He kept me awake with his sleep whistling." "Arr! Happens to most engines, I'm afraid, my lass," said Salty. "But it's nothing compared to what you do," Emily grunted. "All I hear from you when you sleep in those sheds is the occasional arr." "I can't help it, matey," said Salty. "Sometimes I dream about the seas and the dangers and perils it comes with." "I sleep whistle as well," said Thomas. "Then I hope you stay away from my shed," Emily snapped, and she puffed crossly away. What did I do?" huffed Thomas. "Arr, don't take it to heart, matey," said Salty. "Our Emily's just had a lack of sleep. Hopefully she'll have a better night tonight, methinks." "So do I," said Thomas gravely. Meanwhile, Stepney was having a wonderful time. His train was packed with enthusiasts who wanted to see the beauty and tranquility of the island of Sodor. Stepney showed them many beautiful places. They loved the viaduct, where Stepney was happy to greet Oliver as he passed. "This is so wonderful," said Stepney. "I do hope Emily's all right with me staying at the sheds again tonight." He puffed along the line, but he would soon find out. Later that day, Emily had long since delivered her goods and was now taking sightseers to the Scottish castle. She felt like she could catch a few winks while she waited for her passengers to return. But unfortunately, she never got the chance. Stepney pulled into the opposite platform of his enthusiast's train. "Hello, Emily," he whistled. "Thank you so much for the company and hospitality at the sheds last night. Would it be all right if I stayed over again?" "No, you may not," came the sharp reply. "You kept me awake with your sleep whistling all night long, and I haven't slept a wink all day." Stepney was surprised. "Oh no," he cried. "I didn't do it on purpose, Emily. I'm so sorry." "Too late you are," Emily snapped. "As far as I'm concerned, you can find somewhere else to sleep tonight. I'd rather sleep 100 years than listen to your silly sleep whistle." When her passengers returned from visiting the castle, Emily stormed out of the station. Stepney was rather hurt. He hadn't meant to upset Emily, but she had already made her mind up and wanted him to sleep somewhere else. That evening, Emily was satisfied to find that Knapford Sheds was completely empty. "Oh, that's better," she sighed. She had just closed her eyes when her crew had left. But as Emily slept, something strange began to happen. Emily appeared to emit one last puff of smoke as her fire died down. and a ghost engine fluttered out of it, swirling around Emily and repeating over and over again,
100 years and you will sleep. You'll never waken, nor will peep.
And the more the ghost engine said this, the more changes happened in the shed. Cracks on the walls started to appear. Moss and ivy started to form across poles and the shed roof. And the more Emily slept, the more she appeared to decay. Rust started to appear all around her, and her funnel started clogging with cobwebs. But Emily slept, and slept, and slept, until the shed door burst open, and Emily woke with a start. But standing before her was her driver and fireman. "Sorry, old girl," said the driver. "We've got an early day ahead of us." Emily was pleased to be woken up. She looked around and found that the sheds and herself were still the same as she had remembered. "Oh, thank goodness," she sighed. Once her crew had fired her up, Emily set off to work. Emily began to make her way to Edward Station to prepare a goods train. She found Stepney in a siding on her way over. "Oh, Stepney," Emily gasped. "Thank goodness. I'm so sorry I was rude yesterday. Will you stay at the sheds tonight?" "Of course, Emily, thank you," said Stepney. "Good thing, too. It's the last day of me enthusiast special today." Emily was glad. "Where did you sleep, though?" "There was an old quarry shed further back down my line," replied Stepney. "It was a bit uncomfortable, though, but I slept soundly." "Well, you're more than welcome to stay at Knapford again," said Emily happily. The two engines beamed brightly as Emily carried on her way. Secretly, she was more than happy to have Stepney for company once more. Between you and me, Emily would rather drift off to the sound of Stepney's sleep whistle than be asleep for 100 years.